The IKEA Business Network is now open for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Join for free today to get access to interior design services to help you make the most of your workspace, employee well-being benefits to help you and your people grow, and amazing discounts on travel, insurance, and IKEA purchases, deliveries, and more. Take your small business to the next level when you sign up for the IKEA Business Network for free today by searching IKEA Business Network.
Whoa. Landing an account this big will totally change my landscaping business. It's gonna mean hiring more guys and more equipment and new trucks for the new guys to drive the new equipment in. I don't know if I'm ready.
You can do this, and Ford Pro FinSimple can help. Our experts are ready to make growing pains less painful for your business with flexible financing solutions that meet the needs of your business today when you need them. Get started at fordpro.com/financing.
This is Optimal Work Daily, episode 1385. How I Achieve Work-Life Balance Despite Working Full-Time, Running 3 Businesses, and Caring for 2 Kids. Part 2, by Steve Chou of mywifequitherjob.com. And I am Dan, welcome back. And today's episode is actually a continuation from yesterday. So if you are new here or you're skipping around, I would recommend listening to that episode first. That's the Monday show, episode 1384. But if you're all caught up, we can get right to part 2 and continue optimizing your life. How I Achieve Work-Life Balance Despite Working Full-Time, Running 3 Businesses, and Caring for 2 Kids. Part 2, by Steve Chou of mywifequitherjob.com. 2. Periodically reevaluate your goals. Once you have your priorities straight, it's time to revisit them from time to time. Several years back, there was a time when my wife and I got so caught up in trying to grow our businesses quickly that we started neglecting other more important areas of our lives. We started changing up our schedules to grow our company, as opposed to the other way around, and we found ourselves getting burned out. In fact, at one point, things got so bad that we were fighting constantly and took a break from our businesses to talk about it. And you know what? We quickly realized that we were already making more money than we could spend and that we needed to revisit our priorities. Let's be realistic here. My wife and I are inherently frugal people. We're not showy, we don't buy expensive things, and we both spend way less than we make. So why are we busting our butts trying to eke out every last dollar from our business? What's the point of sacrificing our livelihood to grow something that will cause us to work more instead of less for something that we don't really need with our current lifestyle? Every time things get out of hand, we now make a conscious effort to remember what we need out of life. By now, we have a pretty good idea of what makes us happy, and we work towards it. 3. Block off time for your family and friends. As I mentioned before, weekends are reserved for family and friends, and there are very few exceptions to this rule. Right now, weekends are the only days where I get to spend large chunks of time with the kiddos, and I don't want to be one of those parents that rarely hangs out with their children. Aside from hanging out together as a family, it's also very important for me to spend one-on-one time with my wife. In fact, this is one of the many reasons that I decided to go down to 4 days a week at my day job this year. Ever since we had our first child, everything has been about the kids. Did you feed them? Did you bathe them? Did you make sure they did their homework? Did you schedule their dentist appointment? Did you remember to sign them up for piano? Up until last year, having kids was all about self-sacrifice, and it was starting to take its toll on our psyche. So every Friday, my wife and I have a private lunch at a nice restaurant and then spend the afternoon together. And let me tell you, these Friday afternoon dates were just what our relationship needed. Number 4, say no to everything that detracts from your goals. I'm not very good at many things, but one thing I am good at is prioritizing my day and dropping unnecessary tasks on the floor. In fact, this one aspect of my personality tends to annoy my wife to no end. Here's what our conversations are sometimes like. Wife, can you throw away your old clothes? I swear you've had some of this stuff since college. Me, I've had them since high school, actually, and I'm waiting for everything to come back in style again. Wife, well, the closet is overflowing right now. Please clean it up today. Me, what? No, why would I do that today? Wife, because this is on my task list and I want to check it off the list. Me, what is the relative priority of this task compared to, and this is where I read off a long list of things on my plate. Did you not want me to work on math homework with my daughter? Did you not want me to attend my son's performance? Wife, Now, I'm not saying that you should say no to your wife because that could have negative consequences in your life, but you need to be able to put off anything that detracts from your more important objectives. Honey, if you're hearing this, Cleaning out the closet is very important to me, but just not right this moment. Be laser focused towards designing the lifestyle that you want, because as soon as you start committing yourself to random activities, it becomes a slippery slope. And 5, define your time and stop wasting it. Achieving work-life balance is also about personal perception. So if you can be more efficient with your time, then you will have more of it. One thing that helps my productivity is planning out and setting aside blocks of time for certain tasks. When I don't do this, I tend to waste time watching YouTube or browsing Facebook. By providing a little more structure to my activities, I find myself completing my tasks at a much faster rate and can fully relax during the unslotted blocks of time on my calendar. Conclusion. I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse into my lifestyle and how I handle all of the various activities on my plate. But I do have one confession to make. Ever since I've had my kids, I still have not figured out the concept of kid-life balance. If you look at my schedule, all day Saturday and most of Sunday is fully devoted to kids' activities. And even during the week, they sometimes have activities or homework to do which require my attention. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled, How I Achieve Work-Life Balance Despite Working Full-Time, Running 3 Businesses, and Caring for 2 Kids, by Steve Chou of mywifequitterjob.com. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Do you ever find yourself getting caught up in comparison, seeing the successes of others and wishing your life looked the same? If so, then you know how difficult it can be to manage these feelings. Therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have, so you can start living your best life. And therapy is for everyone. Even if you haven't experienced major trauma, it's a great place to learn positive coping skills, boundary setting, and personal empowerment, which can have an amazing impact on both your personal and professional life. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/workdaily today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/workdaily. When it comes to hiring, don't go searching for the one. Just meet your match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it filters out incompatible applicants. So when you're hiring, the process is much faster and you only have to consider applicants that are already likely to be a great fit. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/startup. So just go to Indeed.com/startup right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/startup. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. And hope you enjoyed this 2-parter from Steve. We want to thank him, of course, for all of his wisdom and for sharing his experiences. And one thing I didn't mention yesterday is that he also started his own podcast, which is called the My Wife Quit Her Job podcast with Steve Chou. And it's all about entrepreneurs who quit their jobs to start successful online businesses. Through a series of personal interviews, Steve uncovers the exact strategies that led to their success. Again, that's called the My Wife Quit Her Job podcast with Steve Chou, and you can find it wherever you get your audio. And with that, we have reached the end of our episode and today's show. I thank you, as always, for being here and for clicking subscribe or follow in your podcast app. We really appreciate that. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.